Hello everyone, and welcome to the last book problem for your first synthesis quiz. So go ahead and try this yourself, and then come back to watch me do it. Okay, so in order to solve this puzzle here, you do have to know a particular set of reagents, a particular mechanism. It's just the addition of a diazomethane. It's CH2N2. This basically turns a double bond into like a little triangle. So in order to solve this, you have to know a little bit of background knowledge, but other than that, this is just testing a pretty common sequence of reactions. So this is great practice. In my mind's eye, I know that in order to get this, I have to have a double bond. So I have to somehow turn this part of the molecule into a double bond. And I can kind of see a sequence of moves that involves turning this into a halogen and then performing E2, and then using that double bond that forms from E2 to form our ring there. So I'm going to turn this into something that I could perform E2 on by adding PBr3. Okay, so this adjusts my starting molecule into one with a halogen instead of an alcohol. I'm going to perform E2, so I'm going to add, let's add NaH, and then heat. Okay, and then heat just guarantees that I perform E2. If I were to add NaOH, the addition of heat is a little bit more relevant because it prevents me from doing an E2 with my OH, an SN2 with my OH, and guaranteeing the mechanism E2. But regardless, so we are here and we did E2. So we're just going to have that same molecule, but instead of a halogen, I have a double bond. And then finally, I just add my diazonium, which is CH2N2. So what is the key takeaway for this practice problem? So for my key takeaway in this practice problem, I want to just heavily emphasize the importance of knowing certain sequences of moves to use as tools, as like a unified tool in future synthesis problems. And this is such a common sequence of moves. Turning a alcohol into a halogen, performing E2, and then using E2 in some sort of way. And double bonds are used in so many different ways in synthesis, so this is very useful to know. And then, of course, you know, these are pretty niche, pretty uncommon uncommon reagents to use. Basically, turning this into a little propane ring. But keep note of these. These are pretty easy to remember, and it could save you on a future synthesis quiz.